Welcome everybody to the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity series. Thanks for joining us tonight as we are just starting off our stream here. We want to go ahead and hop into this qualifying session. We already have a few drivers that are ready to get going, and really quickly before we start tonight, just going over, we are here at Iowa, 175 laps tonight. These drivers have 4 tire sets, so we'll be watching that. And our stage break will be on lap 70 tonight. So yeah, we have a few drivers out on track at the moment. Those drivers is Alex Penn, 3 wins so far on the season. He's making this campaign look great. He is our points leader at the moment, 20-point lead over David Farmer. Again, 3 wins on the season for Alex Penn. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Make sure that you give the stream a big thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. And you can see Alex Penn put in our first lap. Actually, besides Daniel Cunningham runs 24.16. Alex Penn's going to run a 24.01. Solid time for that 30 machine. Andy Kurtz on track in that 88 machine tonight. Mike Kostek also out here in the 8. Daniel Cunningham is actually going to retake that lead, running a 23.78. Alex Penn looks like he's going to increase that time by a little bit. Jason Harrison slides into P3 at the moment. Mike Kostek also on track in that 8 machine. You can see Mike go around the track here. I'm going to clock in that second lap. And Andy Kurtz, that 88 machine is going to go straight to the top. He'll take the pole position. Mike Kostek clocked P3. Nick Haysha's out on track in that 28 machine. Yeah, make sure you give the stream a thumbs up tonight. Nick Haysha going into turn 3 here in that 28 machine. You're watching where he's going to qualify. Off of turn 4. Aisha 6th place at the moment. Jim Ott's out on track. Nick Haysha is going to move that 28 machine into 3rd place. Ben Speed right now 7th. Jim Ott's going to clock in 4th. And you can see Jim Ott very loose off of that corner. James Allen out on track at the moment. He clocked P8 that first lap, but it looks like these drivers are using the second lap. Their quick lap. James deciding to use that top line as Jim Ott is going to take the pole right now in that 4 machine. James Allen go P2. Jim Ott right now our leader. Ben Speed out on track in this 29 machine. Like Ben's just clocking in some extra laps, getting a few extra laps of practice. Scott Fritz is out on track. And Jim Ott's going to run a 23.7. Going to put him at the top of the board. A lot of drivers still have not put in a lap yet. See whether or not they'll get their laps here, or laps in here in a few minutes. Fritz, it looks like these drivers are taking the first lap a little bit slower, which means that These cars are a little bit loose, so usually once you put some heat in the tires, it comes a little bit more stable. You can see Scott Fritz, he's going to take that outside, which looks like this will be his fast lap right here, and we'll see where Scott Fritz goes. And runs that middle, gets down to the yellow line. That's where the grip is. It's a great entry of the corner, so we'll be able to see what he's going to be able to do with this. Turn 3 and 4. He also elects to go to the bottom here. Scott Fritz out of turn 4. Gonna go P4. Our top 3 drivers, top 5 drivers separated by 8/10, or not 8/10, 8/100ths of a second. 0.08. Oh, Tyler Johnson. He is gonna get loose, and he'll be starting P11 tonight. Tony Iverson out on track in this 24 machine. Again, these guys are running about 23-second lap times. A little bit over that, so maybe about 24. So once it gets under a minute, see, most of the drivers who will qualify will already have made their attempts. So a few drivers in this race tonight: Brandon Holder, GT Hawkins. A few of our Cup guys racing tonight. See how good they do. The Iverson here likes to run that bottom line on his first lap. So we'll see. P12. Usually you would like to generate momentum up on the outside, but he took a little bit of a different line there. Tony goes down the backstretch into turn 3, expecting to take that bottom side of that track. Looks like a pretty decent line. We'll see where this puts him. Tony Iverson is going to go to P10. Other drivers currently on track with just less than 3 minutes to go. See if anybody else decides to come back out here. But at the moment, we'll go ahead and take a look at our race info for tonight. Right now, the track is at 68 degrees. We'll see if that changes for the race setting. But nevertheless, not a lot of banking on this track. A little bit more banking in 3 and 4. So what you'll see is a lot of drivers are going to be able to run the top in 1 and 2, or in 3 and 4. There's just a little bit more banking. But in turn 1 and 2, there's a little bit less. So you'll see a lot of drivers kind of running the middle lane, the top line, or bottom line, that is. They'll be running the first 2 lanes, and then in 3 and 4, all the lanes in 3 and 4 are usable. So we'll see how this shakes up tonight as Lucas Lyons out on track. Again, we've seen drivers kind of use this first lap. It's just kind of an out lap, a second out lap that is. You can see Lucas Lyons up top. And this is to generate momentum here down the front stretch. You can gain a few tenths by using that top line. You have to drive it in really hard here. Get down to the bottom, and you can see he was able to do it. Oh, big wiggle there, though. That's going to be probably a loss of a few tenths at least. We'll see where he's going to be able to put that car in, and you can see he lets off before the start-finish line. Just says, put me in the back, or that lap just was not as good as his first lap. Unfortunate there. We'll go see. Let's go take a look at it. Just because we're here qualifying, we can go take a look. Watch him get really loose here in 1 and 2. And right there, you see the back end of that car. He's already loose, and you can see the steering wheel. It's kind of getting straight, and there it goes. He turns right. That car is loose. Not exactly what you'll want here this early, but and nevertheless, really just trying to go as fast as he can, and he's a little bit of a price there, but his first lap was quicker, so he puts in P9. At the moment, no other drivers on track, so this is going to be our qualifying order for the beginning of this race. You can see 12 or 13 drivers put in laps. 22 drivers in total for tonight's field. Remember, 175 laps, I believe it was. Stage break on lap 70, 4 sets of tires. We'll definitely be monitoring the tire situation. Who takes tires when? We'll be looking at that tonight. But nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and get our grid up here. Jim Ott qualifies first place tonight. He'll be on pole in that 4 machine. James Allen's going to be second. Andy Kurtz qualified P3 tonight. Scott Fritz is going to be starting 4th, and Daniel Cunningham's going to be starting 5th tonight. In that 4th row, it's going to be, or in that, well, actually, Nick Haitia's in the 3rd row in 6th place. Now in our 4th row, Mike Kostek's going to be starting 7th, and Alex Pinn 8th. Lucas Lyons 9th, and Jason Harrison rounding out our top 10 in qualifying. 11th is going to go to Tony Iverson, and Ben Speed's going to be starting 12th tonight. And a little bit down the field here, Tyler Johnson's going to be starting 13th. 14th is going to go to GT Hawkins. 15th, Brandon Holder. 16th is going to be Adam Lancaster. Justin Ray going to be starting in that 17th position. 18th position is going to be Matt Grenier. 19th is going to be Travis Twitty. Ryan Terry is going to be starting 20th tonight. 21st is going to go to Michael Cole. And rounding out our field tonight in that 22nd position is going to be Sean Kustritza. We're excited, and let's go take a look one more time here at our race info. It looks like it's going to stay around 68 degrees, so the track's going to be pretty cool tonight. A lot of grip. Once we get a few laps into this race, this track is definitely going to be really grippy, so we'll definitely be watching that here throughout the runs. But nevertheless, we're excited for an awesome show here tonight in the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series. Really quickly before we start tonight's race, I really want to thank everyone that makes this possible. Red Rocket Building and Barbecue, Butt Kicker, and Bluegrass Power Washing. All of our lovely sponsors make this possible week in and week out, and we can't thank them enough. Jim Ott on our pole tonight, ready for 175 laps. Remember, we're looking for that stage break around lap 70, or at lap 70. So I'm not sure if drivers can make it all the way on fuel. But if they cannot make it all the way on fuel, we might see some pit stops. More than likely, we'll definitely see pit stops because 70 is a long way on fuel. But will drivers take tires? That's what we'll be looking for. See the drivers 2 by 2. Pace car is going to stay on the track here for one more lap as the field gets ordered. Kind of getting a recap of what happened last week. Remember David Farmer with that big wreck. You remember Justin Ray going flying through the air. He got his pilot's license last week in turn 1 and 2 at Richmond. Nick Hatia got in the corner a little too hot. Big wreck, and it led to David Farmer staying out and winning the race. There were definitely a lot of tensions last week between drivers at the short track of Richmond, and I could say, back here to short track, this track is about 0.8 miles, maybe 0.85, so I can tell you we'll definitely see some bumping and banging tonight. But the green flag is out here in the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series. Jim Ott out to a pretty good start, but James Allen equally as an impressive start on that outside, but give it to Jim Ott. Jim Ott clears his way into that first place spot. You can see James Allen, Scott Fritz. Remember, these cars are going to be a little bit loose here on these first few laps, and then the tires will start to get some grip in them. Oh, Mike Kostek. Not sure if he got tagged from behind, but a big moment there for that 8 machine. It looks like he's able to wind that car back up. The battle's on for a second. Andy Kurt's going to take that position over James Allen. Behind him, Daniel Cunningham and Scott Fritz battling. There's Lucas Lyons and Nick Haisha battling for that 6th place position. And as I said earlier, kind of before the race, this track has so many grooves, and you could see that a lot of these drivers are going to be running almost every single groove on this track. There's no certain groove that every driver is going to stick to. The top works, the bottom works, the middle works. And that's really according to turn 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, it really confined down to the bottom few lanes, but you can kind of see Nick Haisha's going to clear there of Scott Fritz, and here comes Alex Penn. Alex Penn looking past Scott Fritz, and now Lucas Lyons is going to go below him. Right behind them, you see Adam Lancaster with Jason Arison and Matt Grenier to his outside. He's on that bottom line. If anybody watched our truck series last night, we remember how good Sean Kaiser was on the long run using that bottom line. So we're watching the GT Hawkins underneath Tyler Johnson, Brandon Holder and Justin Ray, Michael Cole, Brian Terry right behind them. There's Ben Speed. Demont, still our leader right now, has about a second gap over James Allen at the moment. You see a lot of our drivers have already started to single file out. Few battles going on at the moment. Right ahead of Mike Kostek, that's Lucas Lyons and Nick Haisha. You see Mike Kostek really throw it underneath Nick Haisha there. Nick Haisha maybe a little bit loose there through center, and Mike Kostek is going to take advantage of it. Now he's looking underneath Lucas Lyons. I'm going to go ahead and single file out through there. See Tony Iverson now looking underneath Scott Fritz. The battle here for 12th. Scott Fritz has lost 8 positions. That 01 car struggling a little bit here early. Could just be saving tires, though. Never count him out. We'll see what happens here for Scott Fritz. Ben Speed also with a little bit of issues since the start of this race. -9 positions, so not sure what happened to Ben Speed, but he's definitely lost some ground. As you can see, here comes Adam Lancaster underneath Jason Arison once again. Adam using that bottom line. Jason, you can see, not really in that middle line. He's kind of in a little bit of a higher groove in that middle line, but it's definitely usable. You just don't want to go above that third seam in 1 and 2. It's really bumpy up there. Now 3 and 4, the top feels great. And you can see Jason Arison up there right now. Right ahead of these guys, you can see Alex Penn kind of up on top of the track. That's because he's under fire from Lucas Lyons. Lucas Lyons going to be able to get around Alex Penn. He's going to kind of slide in front of him. Going to check him up, and there goes Mike Kostek. Oh, one car with an issue. That's Adam Lancaster in the 17. Looks like he'd gotten loose off of turn 4. Hits the wall pretty good. Not how Adam Lancaster wanted to start this night. Car's going to have a lot of damage, and it's going to be a little bit looser than it wants to be, and you could already see how loose he was off of 4. It's going to be looser now. Mike Kostek trying to use that top line to maybe gain an advantage here out of Alex Penn, using that top line to gain some momentum. And you can see Mike Kostek is going to go up to the top here. He's going to have a huge run down the front stretch. He just was not able to get the throttle down as he wanted to. Wasn't able to make the pass. James Allen has moved into that second place position, taking it from Andy Kurtz, and you can see Daniel Cunningham not too far behind these guys. Lucas Lyons up 4 positions from the start of the night, up to 5th. Solid night so far for that 25 machine. Since we're going 75 laps tonight, I would say the pit window would open at 35. No idea how long these guys can go on fuel, but I would guess that we'd probably be pushing around 50 laps on fuel. I don't know if we can really go any more than that. So, again, I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll just base it kind of off of where these guys go in and pit at. But, again, I think the pit window would open about halfway through this stage. Adam Lancaster now under attack here from GT Hawkins. And you see Adam Lancaster with all that right side damage. He pancaked the wall off at turn 4. And now he's under attack here from Tony Iverson. And there goes Brandon Holder underneath Tony Iverson. Gonna make kind of a little bit of a late move there, but able to get past Tony Iverson for the meantime. Jim Ott still out in front, has led the first 18 laps of this race. These guys are not very far behind the leader. I mean, GT, who just passed Adam right there in that the 33 machine, showing 9 on the scoreboard. He's only just over 5.5 seconds back. Brandon Holder is going to be able to get into that position there, as you see, taking 11th from Adam Lancaster, and here comes Tony Iverson. Tony Iverson and Adam Lancaster side by side down the back straightaway. You see Adam's just going to give it to him, let him go. He knows that he's struggling with that damage on the car. See Jason Harrison having a pretty solid start to his night. Up in 9th place, and Lucas Lyons and Alex Penn now battling for the 5th place position. Alex Penn has been pretty quick so far in this 30 machine. Like he might have saved his tires a little bit better than Lucas Lyons, but Mike Kostek is going to choose to provide momentum to that outside line of Lucas Lyons. Helps him down the straightaway a little bit. See Alex Penn really trying to get this move done. Once you get a little bit out, more and more on tires, it's definitely harder to make passes from the inside line. But once you have a significant tire advantage, it definitely will help. But early on so far in this race, it definitely is a little bit harder to make that inside line work consistently. But once you get around the top 5, that's when it's really hard to pass on the bottom. And you can see Alex Penn losing a spot there to Mike Kostek, and you can see Jim Ott just out front. James Allen kind of reeling him in a little bit. You're watching that 99 machine. Daniel Cunningham's been all over the back here of Andy Kurtz. Andy Kurtz not letting him by. See Daniel Cunningham really smooth on that bottom. Has a nice arc, but then he runs the top up in 3 and 4. Michael Cole and Brian Terry battling. It's the battle for 18th. Michael Cole is going to be able to get underneath Brian Terry here. And Brian Terry with the momentum on the outside. Michael Cole really loose on that bottom. See him and Brian Terry side by side into turn 1 and 2. Brian Terry arcing it up on top of the track. I've been watching them. Daniel Cunningham able to make that pass for P3. Move the 08 up another position. Brian Terry and Michael Cole still battle here for 19th, or 18th that is, but give it to Michael Cole up 3 positions tonight. Scott Fritz has definitely fallen pretty far off the pace. He's behind Ben Speed. What I'm guessing is that this 01 machine is saving. He has to be. Go on board with him and let's hear if he cuts the car off and where he lets off at. He's letting off pretty early. You can see he's really waiting to get back onto the gas, so wondering if Scott Fritz might be trying to play some strategy here. He's saving. Keep an eye on him. See James Allen reeling in our leader here. Alex Penn side by side with Lucas Lyons. And Lucas has been running Alex really tight here to the bottom, and it may not look like it, but when a driver puts their left sides on that dotted white line above you, there's not much grip above that because your car, and normally how you want to run this track is that you want to move above that line once you get a little bit later in the corner, but you can't do that with a car on your outside, obviously. So it's really hard to make that pass in turn 1 and 2 especially. 3 and 4 might be a little bit easier, but you can see Alex Penn's going to hit the gas, and he's going to try to clear himself. He knows that he's just not there. Lucas Lyons with a little bit of momentum here. See if Alex Penn, if he's able to make the clear here, but Lucas Lyons staying strong in that outside, and you can know Alex Penn's a little frustrated. Been behind Lucas, but Lucas is just not letting him go, but it's all part of racing. Right behind them, you see Jason Harrison and Nick Haisha side by side. Right behind them, GT Hawkins. Alex Penn still using that bottom line, but looks like Lucas Lyons able to clear him here. For Alex Penn, you really just have to get a good run off the corner, and you have to get the momentum going into the corner. See, here comes Jason Harrison now. They're almost 3 wide for this position. Alex Penn able to get on the gas, though, so Nick Haisha not able to stay 3 wide. Same thing with Jason Harrison, but... And Lucas Lyons coming into pit. This is what we said, that you'd be watching when our pit window would open. I would say that it would open around 35, cutting the stage in half, and Lucas Lyons decides that it is time to pit. Mike Kostek has had a great car so far tonight in this 8 machine. Up only 2 positions, but he's definitely been making ground on the guys in front of him. So, you see Lucas Lyons just getting in his pit stall right now. Already 1 lap down, so I mean, he will more than likely lose at least 2 laps. So, that is definitely the risk of pitting early. But the upside to it is that these guys pit like, 20, 15 laps later than you. You will have gained a lot of time on those fresh tires. Obviously, they will have enough time to maybe get back to you by the time the stage ends. But I'm guessing with Lucas pitting here, looks like a 14, 6, 7 stop. So he's going to take one of his 4 sets. Now he's going to have 2 sets left for the rest of the race. So he'll take a set at 70, and then he'll only have 1 more set. So, I mean, if you're these guys, my guess is that you would more than likely have to, and Daniel Cunningham's coming in, and then with Scott Fritz. Scott Fritz obviously not paying that strategy, but my guess is that if you're these guys, coming in to take stuff here, you would only take fuel only. I think with how it looks, I mean, you just can't use sets of tires here because you only have 4 total sets. So if you use a set at lap 70, you'll have 2 more sets for the rest of the 100 laps. But technically you only need 1 more set, but that's just if we go green the entire way. See Jim Ott under attack here from James Allen. Mike Kostek coming in this time. Andy Kurtz in the pits. Brian Terry also in the pits. Like Nick Haisha coming down this time as well. We'll be monitoring, watching these guys take pit stops here. Looks like maybe Daniel Cunningham took 2 tires. Scott Fritz taking 0. Maybe Andy Kurtz taking 2 tires as well, unless they were just filling it up all the way on fuel, which is definitely possible. Really hard to tell if these guys took tires. One guy that we 100% know that took tires was Lucas Lyons. Lucas Lyons is going to hope that this race just goes green. We at lap 70, no cautions after that. He'll only have to use 1 set of tires. But nevertheless, you can see most of our drivers have gone in now. James Allen, Matt Grenier, Ben Speed, all on pit road. Jim Ott, Alex Penn, GT Hawkins, Jason Harrison, Tony Iverson, Brandon Holder, Justin Ray, Adam Lancaster, Tyler Johnson, Travis Twitty, Michael Cole, all have yet to make a pit stop, and Jim Ott coming in this time by. And looking at, a lot of the pit stop times, looks like James Allen took 4 tires. Interesting strategy there. Looks like Haysha also maybe took 4 tires. Daniel Cunningham might have taken 2 tires or just filled it up. Again, we can really only guess. But this will give the lead to Alex Penn. He's the first driver not named Jim Ott to lead a lap this race. Alex Penn's going to put his name on the laps led board. And we'll be looking for lap 70. That is going to be when our stage break is. So we'll be able to see also about how long maybe these guys can go on fuel or they pit. Like Tony Iverson and that 24 machine has brought his Chevy Camaro down pit lane, which leaves our top 8. They have not pitted yet. Alex Penn all the way down to Michael Cole. Daniel Cunningham, our first driver, out of the pits on fresh tires. Alex Penn still out on track. Same thing with GT Hawkins. Like these guys are just looking to run it all the way and then maybe not take a set of tires. That seems like the smart play. But we'll be watching because, those guys on new tires, they might be able to lap these guys if they don't take tires. That's the big risk here, especially at a shorter track. No matter what, you'd most likely have to pit at that stage break. Brandon Holder, Tyler Johnson in this time by. Jim Ott's going to get around Andy Kurtz for that 10th position at the moment. Now our top 6 drivers have all stayed out so far. Alex Penn, you can see GT Hawkins right behind him. These guys are all on fresh tires. Daniel Cunningham, actually our first driver on new tires. Looks like he may have only taken 2. GT and Alex Penn coming in this time by. Justin Ray in this time by. Travis Twitty coming in. So all of our drivers that were out are now pitting. It looks like we're pushing about 47 laps on fuel. So this is definitely going to be interesting, though, a little bit later in the race, because we'll obviously have our stage break at lap 70. Probably get going by lap 75. So do you maybe go in and top off on fuel, and then if we go green all the way, try to make it a one-stop race by saving some extra laps of fuel? Definitely a possibility. But we'll watch, and that is dependent on if this race goes green all the way. If it doesn't go green all the way, there's drivers who took tires be in for maybe a little bit of hurting, but looks like a lot of drivers have taken 4. Daniel Cunningham, opting to take 2, but looks like Jim Ott, James Allen all taking 2, and you can see a hornet's nest here. That's Ben Speed and that 29 machine. Travis Twitty up, down on the bottom there in that 19. A lot of drivers on fresh tires here. A lot of of drivers wanting to go. You can see kind of snaking around the corners right now. James Allen looking underneath Daniel Cunningham. It's the battle for the lead. Daniel Cunningham out on those 2 tires right now, leading this race. Few cars in the wall there. Looked like Kurtz was in the wall. See Daniel Cunningham. And look at Jim Ott on very fresh tires. We're 3 wide for the lead on the back stretch. You see Jim Ott on the bottom, James Allen middle, Daniel Cunningham top. But now it's just going to be Jim Ott and James Allen. See Jim Ott's going to be able to take that position away. James Allen really trying to drive it in here all over his bumper. Allen's not going to let him have it. Side by side down the front stretch, battle for the lead. Not on those fresh 4 good years. Be able to take the lead clear now of James Allen off at turn 2. Lap 52 out of 70 for the stage. Jim Ott leads us now. Looks like Alex Penn also maybe only had a 2 tire or a fuel only pit stop. Same thing with Brandon Holder. Tony Iverson also on that strategy, maybe saving an extra set. You know, you may not be clocking in the fastest laps, but you know, at least if you stay on the lead lap here, you have an extra set of tires for the rest of the race. Most of the drivers single file right now. You see Nick Haisha going around Michael Cole here. Most of the field is single file. Really going on at the moment. Mike Kostek all over the back here of Andy Kurtz, though. See, just trying to look on that bottom. Andy Kurtz running a little bit higher, but Mike Kostek running that low side looks pretty quick right now. See, he's going to make that pass work. He's going to pass that 88 machine, and now he's placed in the 4th place position. And A-Car's been strong all night. We'll be watching him in this race if you haven't already. Been really strong. Nick Haisha's caught up to Alex Penn. Remember, Alex Penn, though, it's like he maybe only took 2 or 0 tires, so Justin Ray and Matt Grenier battling. This is the battle for 13th. Justin Ray is going to try to get that bottom to work. See Matt Grenier really running a little bit lower, but not too low. You know, he's just kind of running that middle line, giving a lot of space, though. And you can see he's making that outside line work right now, and he's going to make Justin Ray work on the bottom. I will say, it looks like that 38 is just getting to the bottom a little bit too quick. If he entered a tiny bit higher, he'd be able just to carry a little bit more momentum through the center of the corner, but it looks like he's going to get it here on entry. And Matt Grenier is just going to stay there, not going to be able to get past him just yet. Haisha, Alex Penn battling. This is the battle for that 6th position, and you can see Haisha is going to slide up in front of Alex Penn, and here comes Jason Harrison. Andy Kurtz also in that 88 may have only taken 2 tires. We got a lot of drivers on so many different strategies. The only way we know for sure is if we ask them all, and at this point I think it's just fun to watch and see what happens from this. You see Jason Harrison now underneath Alex Penn for 7th place. Harrison having a great night in that 44 car. He's had a few really good races this year. And he's looking to capitalize on it tonight. Jason Harrison right now sitting 17th in the points, 1 point out of the playoffs. So Jason Harrison really needing a good points finish tonight, and he has showed up. Been very quick to start off this race. Let's see, he's going for Nick Haysha next. He needs these points. Really needs these stage points, and you can see him. Jason Harrison up to P6. 62 laps out of 70 for the stage. Battle for the lead is heating up. You can see Jim Ott really wants to go on that bottom line, but James Allen is really using that top, and now we're side by side. That lap is going to go to James Allen. Jim Ott on the outside. We're side by side for the lead here at Iowa. See, side by side down the backstretch, and James really drives it in deep here. He drove it in really deep, and he's going to do a slide job here. And Jim Ott's going to do the crossover move. Jim Ott's clear of first. Let's see if he does it, but he's not going to be able to get that slider back. James Allen now is going to be clear going into 3, but Jim Ott's really going to drive it in here. It almost sounds like he downshifted almost to try to maybe get some momentum, but nevertheless, it looks like James Allen's going to be a solo first place now. 99 machine now our leader here at Iowa, but Jim Ott not done yet. James Allen gets a little bit tight there. Jim Ott now looking underneath of him. You see, really working down low now on the 99. Not able to make anything of it. Keep watching these guys right behind them. Mike Kostek has caught Daniel Cunningham. We have about 4 laps to go this time by to the stage. Mike Kostek all over the back of that 08 machine, and you can see him go low. Not going to be able to do anything with it just yet. Daniel Cunningham doing a good job keeping it up on that outside line. James Allen going to win this stage here at Iowa.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
James Allen going to win the stage. Jim Ott second. Daniel Cunningham holds off Mike Kostek for third. Andy Kurtz fifth. Jason Harrison sixth. Nick Haysha seventh. Alex Penn eighth. Lucas Lyons ninth. And Tony Iverson 10th. See what the pit strategy is going to be here. See James Allen able to pick up the stage win. Keisha out in front of him. He is 1 lap down, so he's looking to maybe get a lap back.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Back out here at Iowa. James Allen's going to lead Jim Ott into turn 1 and 2. Mike Kostek and Daniel Cunningham side by side for second. Battles on here for first, though. You can see Jim Ott able to get around James Allen pretty easily on that bottom side, but James Allen with the momentum. But on that outside,
All right, man.
Caution's out.
Caution is out.
One car around, that's the 15 of Macroneer. This is our first caution for incident tonight. Take a look here and see what happened. Ooh, and this is, oops, I hit the wrong button, but Looked like there might have been some contact here with Tyler Johnson in the 6 machine. Take a look here and see what happened. See right here, this is turn 4. Tyler Johnson kind of just coming off the bottom there. Maybe, it's a little bit tough, but it looks like that 6 machine just kind of slid up, got a little bit tight trying to push it down there. That's enough to turn that 15 around, and you can see great avoidance there by the 29 of Ben Speed. He's able to make evasive action, or take evasive action there and make a great move. Like there's no damage on the 15 though, so he'll be able to keep going just fine. Back here at Iowa, lap 83 out of 175. Jim Ott was able to take the lead on the bottom side and is now choosing to take the outside line here. We'll see how this switches up everything. And pace car is off.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back out here at Iowa. Daniel Cunningham with a really good start. Looking now to the outside of James Allen. Side by side into turn 1. You see Mike Kostek. Now side by side with Daniel Cunningham. That's the battle for third. And here comes Lucas Lyons. He's shot out of a cannon. 25 machine now underneath the 08. Mike Kostek clear in the third. Battle's on for fourth. Lucas Lyons on that bottom. Daniel Cunningham on the top. Cunningham, will he be able to get the run here off the corner? No, he will not. They're 3 wide right behind him. Alex Penn, Andy Kurtz, Jason Arison in the middle. And Alex Penn really throws that car in there on the bottom, driving it in deep, but the momentum's all with the outside. That's a tight squeeze. Jason Arison has to back out of it. Good move there for that 44 machine, because that would have been carnage down the front stretch here at Iowa. He does a great job. Kurtz maybe looking to make it 3 wide through the middle, not able to do it. The Alex Penn now using that bottom. Daniel Cunningham looking like he's struggling a little bit here in that 08 machine. Struggling here early on this run. See Andy Kurtz down to the bottom, and Andy Kurtz is going to tag Alex Penn, and he saves it. Wow. Unbelievable save. We have to take a look at this one. You can see right here, Andy Kurtz is just going to get in there a little bit too deep. You know, Alex Penn was really trying to get that line right there, but look at that. He is wrecked right here. That nose is pointing towards the inside wall. And I don't see a lot of brake in that. He might use a little bit of brake, but he mainly keeps his foot in the throttle and actually keeps it going pretty well. Back in line here, only loses 2 positions from that. You know, it's GT Hawkins and Brandon Holder right behind him. You see Alex Penn trying to get past Jason Arison here. Got 4 cars kind of under a blanket here for the lead. Lucas Lyons right there. You can see him on that outside. Now Lucas Lyons, you know, he might have only taken 2 tires. Not 100% sure, but that 25 is quick. His last pit lap was on 72. He is quick at the moment. We'll be watching Lucas Lyons here. Taking some fresh tires. He's up to second. Mike Kostek also up to third here. Peak for second. These guys went right around James Allen, who's been super quick tonight. See right behind them, Andy Kurtz, Jason Arison, Alex Penn. And here comes Jason Arison with a run here now underneath Kurtz. And Arison make the pass. He's going to get in a little bit too much there. And he's going to be just side by side with the 88. We got 3 double numbers back to back to back. We got the 99, 88, and 44. And if GT Hawkins, well, then we got 2 33s behind him. GT Hawkins technically scored as the 9. But here comes Alex Penn now. This is not good. He's going to dump a lot of air on that spoiler. That 44 is going to get really tight. And man, they're going to make it work just barely. So now you got Alex Penn here to the outside of Jason Arison. Side by side down the backstretch. It's Penn and Arison, and we'll see if Alex Penn can make that outside work. GT Hawkins and Brandon Holder have joined the party. Jason Arison opting to let these guys just go. Pretty bold move for that 44 machine. He's looked really quick, but right there, he might have just decided that he wanted tires. I'm not 100% sure. Wanted to save those tires, but nevertheless, that's going to escalate him out front, and Lap 95, coming to lap 96 this time by. Here comes Kostek. Mike Kostek has been super quick tonight in that 8 car. He's going to make his way up to second. Remember, Mike Kostek, he was our winner at Pocono. Right ahead of him, Jim Ott. Jim Ott won at Vegas and Michigan. This Lions does not have a win yet this season. This Lions currently scoring the 14th positions. He's had all 8 starts so far this season, but only 2 top 10s to show for it. So 25 of Lucas Lyons, he wants to have a good run here. Comes Kostek. He's all over the back of Jim Ott. That 8 machine looking very quick at the moment as he's all over the back of Kostek, or Ott, that is. Mike Kostek looking to take the lead here in turn 1. Jim Ott still battling on that outside. Side by side down the backstretch we are. Here in the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series. You guys always put on a good show every single week. And you can see we're still side by side for the lead. Kostek's going to give in there, though. GT Hawkins has moved up into that 6th position. Both these guys, GT and Brandon Holder, are able to get around Alex Penn. Now looking to go past Andy Kurtz here for 5th. Andy's able to hold them off for the meantime. Not still able to lead this race. Lucas Lyons is falling off the pace a little bit. Same thing with James Allen. There's GT. Gonna get underneath. Not really looking. He already is underneath that 88 machine. Kurtz does a great job there, but just not able to get the run off. GT definitely has a little bit more right front in that car at the moment. Brandon Holder also looking to make a move here on Kurtz. Andy Kurtz, though, holding his own. Doing a fantastic job. Kurtz be able to keep it up there. Oh, man. GT slides it right in front of him. Here comes Brandon Holder now on that bottom line. Holder maybe going to try to make a move up here. Get that 6th place position over Andy Kurtz. To Brandon Holder, and here comes Alex Penn now. Right ahead of them, you can see James Allen here looking to make a move on Lucas Lyons. Behind them, looked like maybe Kurtz had gotten in the wall, or he decided to go and let Penn and Harrison by, but I see a little bit of right rear damage on that 88. Looks like he tagged the wall. Has some damage on the car behind them. Matt Grenier making a good run. Matt Grenier was involved in that incident with Tyler Johnson. Turned around off of turn 4. Made his way back up inside the top 10. So pretty good rebound for this 15 machine tonight. Behind them, you see Justin Ray. He's done a great job of keeping his car on the ground this week. Last week he was up in the catch fence. Tony Iverson now working below Justin Ray here. Right ahead of them, Jason Harrison maybe looking to make a pass here on Alex Penn, and he really dives it in there deep. He's going to be able to clear him just barely. Right ahead of them, you see James Allen making a move on Lucas Lyons, and here comes Brandon Holder. Brandon Holder able to get underneath GT Hawkins here. GT's going to have a lot of momentum here. You saw Lucas Lyons. They're going to be 3 wide, but GT Hawkins going to let off. Thinks better of the move. This is the battle for 3rd place at the moment. If you look at the ticker on the left side, you can see Lucas Lyons 2.5 seconds behind as he's going to get right back past James Allen. That was a slide job and a half. James is definitely going to have the momentum now going down the front stretch. And here comes GT Hawkins, Lucas Lyons with a late kind of block maneuver. That's going to slow GT down, and here comes Brandon Holder. Brandon Holder now to the outside of GT Hawkins, and he'll make the pass. And GT throws it right back underneath Lucas there. See Brandon Holder to the outside of GT, and he's going to be close to the wall. Going to keep it off of each other at the moment. Look a little bit back. See Matt Grenier and Tony Iverson. This is the battle for 10th. Tony Iverson trying to make his way back up through the field. Not able to make that pass work. So battling up here is two of our Cup Series guys. You catch him here, or catch them here tomorrow night on Bluegrass Iracing Cup Series with Steve McMillan. Make sure you all tune in for that tomorrow night. But at the moment, they're racing here in the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series. Saw that James Allen was able to clear Lucas Lyons. It's kind of put a gap between them two. GT Hawkins going to be the next person past Lucas Lyons. You can see that exit right now for GT is just a little bit better than Lucas. He's really able to get off the corner very well. See, they're side by side, and look at the run he gets on the bottom. He matches Lucas's run, and he actually gets a little bit loose, but still keeping up a lot of speed. Hawkins just gonna not really clear. He tried to make himself clear, but Lucas was still there, and he let him know. Gave him a little bit of a chrome horn, but I would say a pretty nice chrome horn. Here comes Brandon Holder now underneath Lucas Lyons, and Brandon Holder really sends that car in there, but you gotta be careful there if you send it in too early, but he doesn't have to be careful. He's coming in the pits this time. 60 laps to go. And Holder in the pits. Definitely interesting now looking at the pit strategy. Again, we were looking for about 47 laps. And the caution, so probably about 50 laps from lap 70. Probably be seeing a lot of the field come in and pit probably the next like 5 to 10 laps, I would say. Keep an eye on our drivers. Remember, some of these drivers may only have one set of tires left. They take one set right now, and then you don't have another set, but those drivers still have 2 sets of tires left. There's a caution at like lap 150 or 160. They're going to be in the catbird seat, if there are any drivers still on that strategy. Like James Allen and GT Hawkins are battling there for a second because Jason Harrison, man, that 44 has been quick tonight. See Jason Harrison now into Lucas Lyons, and here comes Tony Iverson. Tony, another driver, has been really quick in these last few runs. He's really made this run work, and you can see him now. Jason Harrison battles with Lucas Lyons as they're side by side down the front stretch. No one else is pitted, just Brandon Holder so far. But again, probably about that 50 lap mark will be pushing around lap 120, and at that point, you have about 55 laps to go, and that's outside the fuel window. Looks like GT Hawkins coming in this time by, and he will. GT Hawkins going to come in and pit. See now Tony Iverson maybe going to try to make a pass here for Jason Harrison. Really sends that car underneath the 44. Iverson not able to do anything with it just yet. You can see him maybe try to go underneath here, but Jason Harrison is going to get outside of Lucas Lyons, but these guys are just going to be side by side off the corner. Tim Ott's been able to put a little bit of a gap between him and Kostek. You can see the gap between him and Kostek. There's Jim Ott. There's Mike Kostek. Jason Arison, Tony Iverson. Those guys are still side by side. Nobody else has come in and pit yet. Scott Fritz making look his way back up. Not sure what happened a little bit earlier in this race, but he had fallen back all the way to last place. And he's made his way up into the top 10 right now, running 9th. Mac Grenier right behind him. Ben Speed also putting his nose in this battle. And here comes Ben Speed now looking to make a move here underneath Scott Fritz. Battle for that 10th place position. Ben Speed's going to be able to clear Scott for the meantime. But look at Scott with that huge run. It's the advantage of running that high line in 3 and 4. Ben Speed, though, still on that bottom line, trying to make it work. You can see Matt Grenier trying to get outside of Justin Ray. Not able to do anything with that run just quite yet. And it looks like Justin Ray is going to come in and pit this time by. Jason Arison in that 44 machine also in. These guys coming in to get in their next stop. Mike Kostek, Jim Ott, that gap is now almost 2 seconds. Tony Iverson was able to get past Lucas Lyons. Tony Iverson now in that 4th place position. We'll see if anybody comes in this time by, and I believe Tony Iverson's coming in. The 24 machine is in here on lap 124, so now we're looking at about 50 laps to go. But remember, there was a caution. So right now by pitting, you definitely would have to save. I would be guessing. Let's see if Jim Ott. Yeah, Jim Ott's going to come in this time by with 50 laps to go. And same thing with Kostek. And remember, these guys also did have a few laps under caution. So not sure if they'll be able to make it all the way. This race may be a fuel strategy race. And you know what? That's why James Allen probably backed off so much in that 99 machine. I didn't really think of it, but you know, James Allen had been so fast at the beginning of this race. Kind of wondered maybe why he had dropped off the pace a little bit. That 99 machine is definitely saving some fuel. Andy Kurtz, looks like he's coming in this time by. But, you know, if you're Jimmy Allen, Matt Grenier, Scott Fritz, if you can push this car to about 47 laps to go, which would be around lap 128 to 129, then you definitely can make it up. A little bit shorter of that, you could still make it. So, watching, as you can see, they're already on lap 127. So, everyone who's staying out right now, James Allen, Matt Grenier, Scott Fritz, Ben Speed, Daniel Cunningham, Nick Hasha, or Hasha that is, all of these guys can make it. Alex Penn, our first driver, who went in, and remember, it looks like he's splitting the stage in 2. He already knew that he probably couldn't make it, so we got one car in the grass. That's Michael Cole. He saves it. Gotta be careful here, though. This grass is really slick. When he gets that car slowed down enough, he does a great job of saving, and as you see Daniel Cunningham in, Alex Penn, our first driver on that different strategy. Oh, that was close. James Allen pitted and Brandon Holder almost got into him. You see Matt Grenier in. These guys who are pitting right now, these guys can more than likely definitely make it to the end of this race now. See Scott Fritz staying out an extra lap here just to make sure that he has enough. But I mean, if you're Jim Ott, you really have to save fuel. More than likely hitting earlier. The Scott Fritz and Ben Speed both go in. Hasha, see if he goes in this time by. Nick Hasha, our only driver, I think is pitted yet. Hear that car a bit slower, so he might still be saving, but nevertheless, Alex Penn, our first driver on the new strategy. And Daniel Cunningham, he had a penalty. He is now back in the 16th position. Cunningham maybe with an issue on pit road. He got to come back down and serve. Nevertheless, that 08 machine's now back in 16th, not where you want to be. We have one car around, and that's Travis Twitty. Like he got loose off of turn 2. He's going to keep it down on the bottom of the track, no caution. Acacia still our leader. Not sure if he maybe pitted a little bit earlier. I don't know what strategy this 28 is on, but yeah, he's up front, leading some laps. Never bad to lead some laps. Kurtz was able to get around Jason Harrison there in that 44 machine, and you can see Justin Ray right behind them in the 38. It's around Brian Terry there. Nick Haisha into the pits. They'll give our lead to Alex Penn. See Jim Ott and Brandon Holder fouling behind them. So, looking at our drivers here, remember Jim Ott pitted at around, let's see where Jim Ott pitted. Jim Ott pitted at lap 124. So, really early, but James Allen, our first driver, who we know that can more than likely make it without saving. Brandon Holder, Alex Penn, more than likely they will not be able to make it all the way on fuel. Car slow. I think that's Travis Twitty. Just Travis Twitty. You saw him spun out on turn 2. Maybe contact with the wall here. Oh yeah, he's gonna get loose here off of turn 4. Maybe catching some dirty air. And bang! That's a big hit, but nevertheless, keep that car out of the way. Not our leader, but we'll be able to make it all the way. Jim Ott out front at the moment. 1.6 seconds over Alex Penn. And remember, our top 2 drivers, Jim Ott pitted on lap 124. The 2 guys behind him, Alex Penn and Brandon Holder, both pitted on 111 and 113. Mike Kostek, one of the drivers that also pitted on lap 124. So he's on a very similar strategy. James Allen already making up a lot of positions up into that 7th position. Just got around Lucas Lyons, and remember Lucas Lyons, he pitted on lap 124, so a little bit earlier. Tony Iverson pitted on lap 123, so he definitely has a lot of laps to save, more than likely. If, you know, it kind of goes according to how it went earlier, about 47 laps maybe, and maybe there's been for tires, but we saw drivers, you know, push it 50-plus laps, you know, even with that one caution. But this run, there's no guarantee of that caution. So some of these drivers may have to save. And you can see the gap between Allen and Ott, and that's 9 seconds. So James Ott has a lot, or Jim Ott has a lot to save here. He's got about 2.5 seconds back to Mike Kostek. So Jim Ott can definitely save a lot of fuel here. He has no pressure behind him. We'll be able to see whether or not able to. Brandon Holder, one of those drivers that pitted very early. Same thing with GT Hawkins. Those guys pitting very early. Really, they have another stop, and we got a caution.
Caution is out.
Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson is around, and this is going to change everything. See, looking to make a pass here underneath Harrison. Odd. Drivers trying to... Oh, Brian Terry. I believe Kurtz may have got a piece of that. Man, this is just unfortunate. Oh, just gets lucky. Brian Terry not as lucky. He had nowhere to go. Now, if you're right here, look, Brian Terry, I don't even think he could see the 6 car. Bang. Big hit. Brian Terry involved in that. So Jim Ott stays out, Mike Kostick stays out, and the rest of the field's coming in. Matt Grenier's going to stay out. Ben Speed stays out. Nick Haisha is our wave around. So really our top 3 drivers are going to stay out here. And I'm guessing that these drivers are just coming in here to take fuel only. Just to make sure they can make it all the way. We'll see if they take any tires here. I don't see the jack going up on that 99. So yeah, they're just going to take some fuel. Scott Fritz is taking tires. Now that's big. And I really quickly want to see if maybe Lucas Lyons took tires here. Yeah, and you can see him, Alex Penn taking tires. It's like Tony Iverson. So, these drivers that have fresh tires, Lucas Lyons, Alex Penn, it's definitely going to be interesting. So, a few drivers, James Allen, looks like he got fuel. Lucas Lyons may have only got fuel or 2 tires. But I will tell you, the first car on 4 tires, I believe, is Alex Penn in that 30 machine. This is actually probably going to play out pretty good in his favor. Looks like GT Hawkins has 4 tires. And Holder has 4 tires. Tony Iverson has 4 tires. Justin Ray, Scott Fritz, Nick Haisha. Looks like they all went in and took 4 fresh Goodyears. Now, there are a lot of cars to pass, but they definitely have a chance of making their way up through the field. We'll see. They make those new tires work. Now remember that our leaders here pitted on lap 120. Since we're still on replay. Get off of that replay. They pitted on lap 124. So with this caution, more than likely these guys can make it all the way now. I wouldn't say they can easily make it all the way, but this definitely helps their chances at evening it out. It's evening their strategy out. So more than likely, let's say these guys up front can make it. But now, we have drivers here on 4 tires. Alex Penn, GT Hawkins, Brandon Holder, Tony Iverson. Looks like maybe Daniel Cunningham took 2 tires. Scott Fritz, Justin Ray. With this caution, these guys, remember, saving that extra set in the first stage has gotten them to this point. And, you know, Alex Penn has 7 drivers in front of him on old tires. Alex Penn definitely has a chance to maybe snag a win here if those fresh tires can kick in, because there's still 30 laps in this race. There's a lot of time. Remember, that's why we limit tire sets in this series. You know, it really creates you to do different strategies. Now, if this race would have went green all the way, I mean, Jim Ott, Mike Kostick, they might have had a save, but one of them, or James Allen, was in the catbird seat. Well, the wreck, obviously, it puts them in a weird position now. It's a different position than they were in. Look at Matt Grenier up in that 3rd place position. What a great job by him tonight. A little bit of a different strategy. Has himself in the top 3, but and Ben Speed too, up into 4th. What a great run for that 29 machine. As you can see, a big check up there on that restart. Green flag's out. Jim Ott's going to clear Costa. Be watching here now. You can see Alex Penn already all over the top here. He has nothing to lose. He has 3 wins this season. Bit of a different strategy. He'll have to make the most of it. You see 3 wide. That's one way to maybe hurt this strategy. Ooh, Lucas Lyons gets up into GT Hawkins. They're 3 wide behind them. That's Tony Iverson on the outside. Goes Alex Penn. You can see how fast he is. Look at Tony Iverson on those 4 fresh tires. Alex Penn already going past James Allen. That 30 machine is rolling. Now remember, the longer into this run we get, the more those tires will even out. So, you know, Alex Penn has to make as many moves as he can here early. Brandon Holder at the bottom of 3 wide here. This is not going to work. They're way too tight to be racing here. Matt Grenier gets into Tony Iverson, but it looks like they're going to get it all folded out. Tony Iverson now, as Brandon Holder to his inside. Alex Penn able to get around Andy Kurtz. Ben Speed is next for Alex Penn. Still see 3 wide back here. Lucas Lyons, Tony Iverson, Brandon Holder. Tony Iverson on that outside. Here you see Alex Penn with those fresh tires just rolling that bottom right now. And there's not much you can do when you're a driver that does not have the tire advantage, especially by 20 laps. This race played very nicely in Alex Penn's hands right now, based off of that strategy of saving that extra set of tires. So Alex Penn, our new leader here at Iowa, 25 to go. The next car on fresh tires is GT Hawkins right there, and that 33 machine, or the 9 machine in the sim, is on those 4 fresh tires. Right now, it's trying to get past Ben Speed, and then behind him, Brandon Holder. That car going 3 wide. This is going to be close. Tony Iverson now 3 wide with him underneath. And, oh, Brandon Holder has to check up there. Brandon Holder on 4 tires. Tony Iverson on 4 tires. Scott Fritz is on 4 tires too, and he chooses the top line. Scott Fritz on that outside of Brandon Holder. Tony Iverson, though, on the bottom of James Allen and Kurtz here. Andy Kurtz on that top side. Outside of James Allen. Going to try to single file it out here, and Kurtz has to check up. There goes Tony Iverson now underneath, and I think they're 3 wide again. And oh, Kurtz is going to get tight. Tony Iverson's going to get loose. Here comes Brandon Holder now on the bottom, and look at Scott Fritz. Scott Fritz on that top line, and all 3 of these guys are on fresh tires. GT Hawkins is cleared in the 2nd place. We'll see if GT can run down Alex Penn. And oh, round goes Brandon Holder. Oh, man. What a save by Brandon Holder. And there goes Tony Iverson to his outside. What a save by that 33 machine. He was sideways. You've seen that a few times tonight. Drivers just get dead sideways, but able to save it. That just shows the skill of these Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity drivers. There goes Scott Fritz. He's going to be able to get past Ben Speed now. Remember, Scott Fritz also on fresh 4 tires. Ben Speed, though, fighting back. Not able to do anything with it as Scott Fritz now looking underneath James Allen here. Scott Fritz looking for the slide job. Not able to do it. Scott Fritz on that bottom line, really trying to make it work. Just not able to get past James Allen yet. This is where part of the run where those tires are definitely starting to get a little bit weaker than they were. And they're very strong on the first few laps. And oh, James Allen catches a break there from Scott Fritz. You see Scott Fritz did not really like that. Automatically goes right back under him. You gotta be careful when you're making moves like that on entry. You know, cut the driver off behind you. I can tell you, one driver you do not want to make mad out here is Scott Fritz. As here comes Brandon Holder. As he's making that bottom line work. See Brandon Holder. Ooh, James kind of just gets again really trying to block all the lanes of the track right now. Making it work, though, as here comes Tony Iverson. Oh, this is going to be really close here. Tony Iverson has been really loose on that bottom line, but able to make it work there. See Scott Fritz getting to the outside of James Allen here. He's going to have the run off the corners. They've caught Mike Kostek and Jim Ott. 16 laps to go here, and there goes Scott Fritz. He throws that car underneath. He's actually underneath Kostek now. But again, just no momentum down there at the moment. He's driving it in just a little bit too hard. Looks like he'll be able to get past Allen here, but still has Kostek to his outside. No, Tony Iverson goes around. Hard into the inside. It's the opening, and Tony Iverson's gonna keep it going, but you can see no nose on the front of that car. He looks like he had just drifted up a little bit into Brandon Holder. See, Brandon kind of makes it 3 wide there, and I don't think Tony Iverson really knew that. And big hit that inside. Alex Penn right now, a gap is down to 1 second between him and GT Hawkins with 13 laps to go. You're watching them, but right behind him, Scott Fritz was able to clear. Oh, Kostek is going to door Otts up the track. He gets in a little bit too hot. This is going to open up the door for Fritz as Kostek is going to lose a lot of positions, and James Allen gets into the side of Jim Ott. James Allen is really going to pull a slider here. Jim Ott's going to look back underneath James Allen here. James Allen, though, with that preferred line on the top, and you can see Jim Ott really struggling now in that 4 machine. Those older tires are definitely coming into play. See, there's Brandon Holder, maybe going to try to get past Jim Ott. Oh, and Jim Ott's into the wall hard. Don't think Brandon was quite clear there. But Brandon, you know, it's last few laps here. He's trying to go forward. See the gap between Alex Penn and GT Hawkins. 7/10 of a second at the moment. And ooh, Alex Penn up into the wall. This is going to be almost down to 5/10 of a second now. We got the battle going on back here. Remember, Matt Grenier, I'll take tires. He's fallen back to that 11th position. Same thing with Nick Haisha. And Cunningham also a little bit back here. Race has not played in his favor. You see Brandon Holder still working on James Allen. Not able to get it to work as James using that outside to his advantage. Battle's on for the lead, though. Alex Penn and GT Hawkins. 9 laps to go here in the Bluegrass Iracing Xfinity Series at Iowa. GT Hawkins just really good through the center of the corner. That's where he's really beating Alex Penn right now. You see Alex Penn, you know, really not even running that different of a line. Really dumping the dirty air on that 9 machine. You can see both of them are really loose. GT Hawkins looks like he has the run here. Lap down car, Tony Iverson, and Alex Penn has to do just that. Has to pinch him down as they're going to exchange some paint there. For Alex Penn, you really have to pinch GT down the track here. Did a good job of it, but GT is all over his quarter panel right now. Oh, GT really sends it in there hard this time by. And Alex Penn is holding them so far down the track as they are bumping and banging right now for the lead. You see GT go in for the side draft there. And I mean, if you're Alex Penn, you've got to do just that. You've got to keep him down on the bottom of the track. And I mean, and GT right now is so strong. That car is so good on the bottom. You can see he's able just to drive it in harder, just has a little bit of a better exit, but he's using all of them up. He's been all over Alex Penn's left corner panel. What a race we have right now for the lead. You can see right there, look at GT. He's so strong through the center and off of exit. And watch him. He'll dive it in here again in 3. And oh, he's going to get Alex Penn. He's going to tap him up the track. Alex Pinn's going to save it. 4 laps to go here at Iowa as GT gets into the wall there. GT looks strong enough, and you can see he makes up that gap in 1 corner. Got to lift a little bit there, but we'll see if... I don't know if we've seen the last of GT Hawkins just yet. He's trying to reel in Alex Pinn. Alex Pinn getting a pretty good run off that corner, though. 2 laps to go here, or 3 laps to go, that is, at Iowa. Back to these guys. Any other... Checking to see if we have any other battles. Looks like Brandon Holder was able to get around Kostek. Jim Ott has fallen back to that 9th place position. Looks like Nick Haisha and Jason Harrison battling out for 12th place right now. But we're going to go back to the lead here with 2 laps to go here at Iowa. And GT Hawkins get past Alex Pinn here. You can see a great run here through the corner. GT's there. GT's on his bumper. He's going to go underneath, but he's just a little bit too tight. He really wants to get underneath that 30, but he just doesn't have enough grip to make it work, and he's going to get in the wall. White flags out here at Iowa for Alex Pinn. He's looking to get win number 4 on the season. GT Hawkins looking to gain a little bit of momentum for the Cup Series run tomorrow night, and he's going to get tight. Alex Pinn on a different strategy. He is going to steal this one tonight here at Iowa. Alex Pinn off a 4 for the final time in that 30 machine. Alex Pinn wins at Iowa Speedway. GT Hawkins second. There's Scott Fritz and James Allen battling for the 3rd place spot. See everyone coming through. And oh, Mike Kostek out of fuel at the end of this race. And we got cars wrecking after the line. Not sure what happened here. That's Magrineer and Nick Haisha. And I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he maybe some frustrations, but Alex Pinn in an exciting finish gonna win this race. So we'll go ahead and get our standings here. Alex Pinn's gonna win tonight here at Iowa. GT Hawkins finishes 2nd. Scott Fritz is going to finish 3rd. Jimmy Allen, or James Allen, that is 4th. Brandon Holder 5th. Ben Speed 6th. Daniel Cunningham 7th. Andy Kurtz is going to finish 8th tonight. Nick Haitian 9th. And Mike Kostek rounds out our top 10. I think he ran out of fuel finishing top 10. Jim Ott's going to finish 11th. Matt Grenier 12th. Jason Harrison 13th. Lucas Lyons 14th. Dustin Ray 15th. Tony Iverson 16th. Adam Lancaster 17th. Michael Cole 18th. Looking a little bit down our field. Brian Terry's going to finish 19th tonight. 20th is going to go to Tyler Johnson. 21st is going to go to Travis Twitty. And 22nd is going to go to Sean Kostritza. All right, we will be right back. We're going to go and play a quick sponsor video. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers tonight. So make sure you stick around for the interviews. All right, well, we are going to go ahead and grab our top 3 finishers tonight. Finishing 3rd, he's Scott Fritz in that 01 machine, so we'll go and get him up here. Hey, Scott, you got a copy? Well, it seemed like that strategy kind of played off, whether it fell into your hands or not. We saw you kind of go from the front to the back early on, but you were able to make your way back up there. And with that caution, you're able to get 4 fresh Goodyears and make your way up to 3rd. So go ahead and tell us about your race there, Scott. Yeah, we definitely saw you were able to stay out till about like lap 129, I believe it was, compared to everyone else who really had a pit at like lap 125. So you definitely did one of that thing to go green, but nevertheless, third place finish. I know. Are you going to be racing the Cup Series tomorrow night? Gotcha. But gotcha. Well, nevertheless, still a really good finish, and for your future races here in Bluegrass, I bet that's going to be huge load of momentum. At least getting a top three here tonight in the Xfinity series. But Scott, if you have any teammates, sponsors, family, friends you'd like to thank, the floor is yours. All right. Well, congratulations on your top three tonight, and we'll see you sometime soon. That was Scott Fritz, our third place finisher tonight. We're going to go and pull up GT, our second place finisher. Hey, GT, you got a copy? Well, you were able to finish second tonight. I know you're probably, here for the win, really trying to get it, but you came so ever so close. We saw you really using Alex Pinn's left rear, doing everything you could, and you just kind of got in a little bit too much, and we saw you kind of lose it there. But nevertheless, you were almost there, almost had it, and I bet that strategy also kind of played out to your favor when the caution came out. So go ahead and tell us about your race there, GT.
Peak iRacing experience for me. I mean, that was that was great. Alex was awesome to race with. Yeah, it's hard to pass. I mean, the high line just runs so well, and I'm like trying to get to the bottom. I felt like I was better on exit, especially in two, but um, yeah, I was trying to get my nose down there and just to get a lane and just try to see if I could get a drive off down there. And Um, yeah, didn't mean to get into him at all, but a couple of good saves out of him. It was crazy. I did the same thing twice. But yeah, other than that, fantastic racing. Had a great night. Appreciate everybody letting me run down.
So looking at those last 6-10 laps somewhere around there, you think you could have done anything different, or would you try anything different to maybe get around Alex? We saw you really committed that bottom lane. Do you think maybe you should have tried running up the top in 3 and 4, or do you feel really confident just running that bottom line?
I mean, I thought if I could get a run off the top going into one, I would probably still have to hold the outside in 1 and 2, and I felt like I was running better on the bottom there. So I mean, I considered it. I mean, it's not off pace really. It is over a long run, but yeah, I don't think that would have done it. Alex was on it tonight. Good for him.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second place finish tonight. If you have any teammates, sponsors, family, friends you'd like to thank, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I got to thank all my teammates, Cornerstone. Appreciate them letting me come down here and race these Xfinity cars again. Glory Pole, everybody at Bluegrass for putting this on. Thank you for broadcasting, and all my friends, family out there watching. Thanks.
All right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night, GT.
We'll see you. Have a good night.
So that was GT Hawkins, our second place finisher tonight. And go ahead and get the man of the hour, Alex Penn. Hey, Alex, you got a copy?
I got you.
Well, you picked up win number 4 tonight. Not sure you completely expected it, especially how it was going halfway through, but you're able to catch that caution, get some fresh tires, and make your way up to the front. So, I mean, tell us about your race there, Alex.
Yeah, the caution definitely helped out with the strategy. I think it kind of just solidified it, knowing that the guys in front were on old tires and they would be for the rest of the run. But you know, big thanks to GT for keeping it clean in that battle for the end. That is the most fun and definitely most hard fought fight for the win I've ever had.
What did you have to do there to hold him off? We really saw you trying to pinch him down, trying to keep him confined to that apron. And we saw him, he was all over your left rear. He was diving it in pretty hard. Looked like maybe he had a little bit more right front tire than you. So what did you have to do there to hold him off?
Yeah, I definitely noticed that he had saved his tires a bit better than I did when he started running me down like 2 times a lap. But I was, from the other racing I had done earlier in the race, I had picked up that the Highline was kind of the way to go if you were going to race side by side. So I knew as long as I didn't give that up to him, I had a good shot to win.
Well, you're at Iowa. I'm not sure if you completely expected to win this race coming in, but you also have won at Auto Club. You won at Mid Ohio and Chicago, and then we go to another road course of Sonoma next week. So, tell us what this win does going forward. I know it kind of boosts your momentum up, but you've won the last 3 of the 4 races, so I don't know if your momentum has really gone away. It seems like you're fast everywhere we go. So, tell us what you're looking forward to now after this win.
I'm super excited for next week. I know I'm gonna have a good battle with Finley Fitzsimmons because he's usually quicker than I am on road courses, so that should be a good battle. But I've noticed that every week that I put in a ton of practice for a race, I've ended up coming out with the win. So I'm gonna definitely put in a lot of practice in for next week. I'm probably gonna start tonight.
All right, well. We will see you next week, though, especially at Sonoma. We know you love those road courses, but nevertheless, go ahead and thank teammates, sponsors, family, friends, anyone else that you'd like to thank. The floor is yours.
Definitely the guys over at Cornerstone with GT and Brandon subbing in for Finley and David Farmer tonight, and Justin Ray. He had a pretty solid race. Didn't quite work out for him in the end, but he ran pretty strong all night. And as for sponsors, the Aerial Professionals of Western North Carolina, Function Junction Smoke Shop, who are around the car tonight, GG's of Waynesville, North Carolina, Mountain View Detailing, and Waynesville Tire as well. And you for putting on the broadcast, and everybody for helping run the league.
All right, well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Sonoma.
See you then.
All right, well, that rounds out our time here at Iowa. Definitely a great show by our drivers tonight. Alex Penn able to squeak out another win here. Got the caution that he needed, able to get out front and win it. 4th win of the season for him, so I know that does a lot for his season, but nevertheless, we have rounded out another week here in the Xfinity Series, and ever so close to that cutoff line at Daytona. Top 16 make it onto the playoffs, so we have a few races: Sonoma, Charlotte, Wilkesboro, Nashville, Superspeedway, and Daytona. A lot up for grabs in the next few races, so we'll be watching. For that, though, we'll be back here tomorrow night, here with Steve McMillan for the Bluegrass Iracing Cup Series. So make sure that y'all tune in. Make sure y'all come back for tomorrow night. Starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, the same time as it was tonight. Make sure you give a thumbs up on that stream as well. But nevertheless, we really quickly want to thank our sponsors who make this possible every single week for us. Red Rocket Building and Barbecue, Butt Kicker, and Bluegrass Power Washing. So again, we want to thank all of our sponsors for making this possible. I want to thank everyone out there who watched this race tonight. Thank you all for viewing, sticking around, watching these guys go door to door for the win. And again, make sure that y'all catch the Bluegrass Iracing Cup Series here on YouTube or on Facebook again tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So I will see you next Monday at Sonoma.